This is #Hired. I'm VirtForce founder and your Milspouse bestie, Kimber Hill. In this episode, we're talking about Angela, who had a really successful career in communications prior to taking a break to raise a family. And she has that career gap, that 7-year dreaded career gap that makes every military spouse go when they're ready to come back to the workforce. When Angela got her PR degree, Facebook wasn't even a thing. The PR and communications field had progressed significantly since she had left the workforce. So, to adapt, Angela picked up some gig-based work through VirtForce where she could work while she was supporting her education. And she studied on the side to prepare to go back into communications. Then she found an awesome content management job. Angela, we are so proud of you, and I want to hear your story straight from you. Let's listen now. Virtual employment is here to stay. I'm military spouse, VirtForce founder, and your remote work expert, Kimber Hill. Subscribe now to learn how you too can thrive in the virtual workforce.
So I'm Angela Sablan Tenorio. I hail from Guam, and I have been a military spouse now for 10 years. I had actually already been on a track for communication. That's my background. That is my passion. And so I was already on a track to this great career. Met my husband, military life happened, had kids. And as soon as I had my second one, I was like, we got to put my career on pause and let's, focus on our family. My husband then got deployed in November of 2020. And both my kids had recently been diagnosed with autism. So we were that family that was navigating EFMP. We were that family that was learning about the diagnosis. We didn't have any recorded family members with autism or any kind of neurodivergent diagnoses. So it was a really interesting time for us. And when I started to put my kids into school, because I wanted them to have that social aspect, I was thinking also about how am I gonna do something for myself while my husband's deployed and still navigate this new life that I now have with special needs children. And I knew that with therapies and different appointments and seeing doctors, I needed something that was going to be flexible. I knew that the work that I had been in, required meetings, required a lot of face-to-face, and I just knew I probably couldn't commit to that again. So I started to look for remote work, and I knew it was out there. I just didn't know where to start. I've been out of the workforce for now 7 years. Who's going to want me? Is the background that I have still valuable? Social media was not a big thing when I was at the university. I think Myspace might have just still been brand new at the time. No Facebook, so there was a lot about the communication world and the way that we did outreach that I had no familiarity with. And so coming into looking for something, I knew I needed to prove myself, work my way up, find some resources. And so I took that time while my husband was deployed to really find value in where I wanted to put my heart and soul. I really got to take some time for myself and really explore what's writing again, engaging in social media, learning about all the new tech and tools out there that's available. We were at Fort Hood, Texas at the time, and I came across our housing page, neighborhood page, and someone had asked a question about remote work. And somebody in the comments had mentioned, you have to log into VirtForce. You have to find them on Facebook, join the group. You'll learn so much there. And I ended up just kind of like, ooh, what is that? Let me take a look. And so it was the funniest thing to find it. I think I met Jenna, one of the first ones I met on the VirtForce team. Brand ambassadors were a thing at the time. And so I got segued into that and got to meet a lot of people, got to meet Kimber. It was great. So it was just one of those things that it fell on my lap and I just dived. But long story short, when I found VirtForce in 2020, I had actually been able to secure different positions just through VirtForce. So I had done Simpler Flex, I have done Trademark Express, Veterans Advantage, and those were two of the companies that you guys had vetted and helped to hire from. And then I also did Instant Teams, and Instant Teams was my employer right before National Military Family Association. And when I was with Instant Teams, I was also doing content management work. And so it was nice to jump back into my field of communication, because prior to that, I kind of did some customer service roles, and I hadn't done that since like college. So it was very nice to kind of like start to get a feel of the remote world, and then find that nugget that was like, oh, that's made for me. Like, I can do that. So I'm actually a content manager at the National Military Family Association. And again, it was something I found through just engaging with our community members on VirtForce. I feel like I can't give VirtForce enough credit. The engagement community, and just, the features that we profile, the coffee chats that we get to do, having live HR managers come in and talk to what they're looking for and how you can tailor yourself to join their company. And I think that there's so much value in that, and there's so much that military spouses can contribute.
Angela, taking on the brand ambassador role with VirtForce was such a good idea. It gave you the opportunity to learn new things and explore new skills while you were transitioning back into the workforce. And we are so excited that in your new role, you get to advocate for our community and advocate for military spouses. So proud of you. Stay in touch, and let's talk soon.